What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are still doing exploration. I've got 11 jumps left in my route. It's just a route that I laid out, picking as many of the 0.5 systems as I can. And yeah, so far I've had one data site, which got me 700K, which isn't much. We've got to pull up the probe scanner, see if anything is here. There's nothing there, so we'll just keep jumping. And since you're here, check out the Errant Gamer podcast, which I host, and I've got it with a couple friends of mine that we do on a weekly basis. This coming week, it's going to be on Tuesday at 8 o'clock Pacific. That generally means that usually it's on a Monday evening at about 8, but this week it needs to be on Tuesday. So we do it online on Twitch, on Errant Gamer Twitch. The Errant Gamer, Twitch channel, and you can participate and join in there. If that's not your style and you just want to listen to it in the car, we can be found on iTunes and Stitcher. And if you could post a review of the podcast and let us know how we're doing, if you like it, please rush over there and do that. It'd give us a little bit more exposure. It'd put us on the rankings, and we'd really appreciate it. So that said, I'm just going to hop through these jumps and do whatever exploration I come across. And if it's nothing, then I'll just drop my loot, and maybe we'll make a video about diving into low security space, and you can watch me get blown up, because that will inevitably happen. So that's where we're at. Hopefully we'll find something, though. Okay, 1 cosmic signature, and we'll bring it back to 4. And we'll scan. So I hope you are having a nice week or weekend. I just moved into this bedroom in the back of the house here. Made an office for myself, and I've just gotten everything set up. I'm cleaning up the last little bits of trash and dirt and stuff that got dragged in here while unpacking boxes and hanging things on the wall and that sort of thing. So, yeah. Sometimes I feel it with my feet and I go, gotta pick something up there. EVE Online, and especially exploration, and super especially high security exploration, is a pretty laid-back way to play. There are ways to do much more high-anxiety things in this game. PvP, running missions, you got to be kind of on the ball. And if you do exploration in low or no security space, or wormhole space especially, it can be very anxiety-inducing for me. If that's your style, you should maybe start there and just enjoy the harrowing nature of what you're doing. I think after this video, I may take us into low security space and see, because we're pretty close. There's like a little pocket in here of low security space. And if I do enough research and see, what kind of activity there is in those zones. So what I can do is, instead of geography and statistics, let's see. Ships destroyed in the last hour. All right, so now I can see that at Tarta, no, wait a minute. Yeah, it's interesting. 15 ships were destroyed here. And you can see the little orange dots. Yep, so there's a large amber deposit there, so that would be good if we were looking for mining stuff. And then you see all up here that there's, in null security space, there are a bunch that are in the last hour. So if I wanted to do this, Maybe Vacama would be a good way to do it. Let's see. Yeah, any place that has very low activity or 0 kills in the last hour is relatively, I don't want to say relatively safe, but it's comparatively safe. Yeah, there was a wormhole there. Man, I really doubled back on myself a bunch with my 21 jumps. But I think this next zone is the last one. Yeah, alright. Well, maybe we'll jump in there and check things out. If there's absolutely nothing, we haven't made any money here. Yep, nothing there. So instead, okay, last 24 hours, now we're looking. Last hour. Alright, well, let's get crazy. Yeah, let's do that one. So we're going to go into low sec. I'm going to jump over. We'll see who's on local. And if it looks relatively clean, maybe we'll stay and do a little bit of scanning if there's anything worth scanning. If not, maybe we'll just hop right back out, or if there's too many people in local, we'll go check out someplace else. Generally, it's safe to just zone in. Because there are gate guns around low security gates, and they will attack whoever attacks you if you're at the gate. If you're not at the gate, well, that's something different altogether. But as we come up on this gate, let's also see if there's anybody nearby. Doesn't look like. Nobody is, at least nobody uncloaked is sitting around this gate to tell people on the other side that I am coming, which is nice. That's a good indication. And yeah, so we'll just pop out of, there's 2 items to scan down. Looks like there's a handful of people in the zone though, which let's open up our directional scanner. And well, let's just scan and see what happens. We'll close that and get this over there. I'm going to approach the gate that I just came out of so that I'm close enough to jump if need be. Yeah, I probably should have shrunk my okay, well, I did then. Seven people. Even if people are cloaked, they will show up on local. So that's a wormhole. I need to bring this down here and open it up a bit more. And we'll keep scanning around us. And we're doing it at, we're scanning up to 14 AU around us at 360 degrees, so all around. That's not quite close enough. We're still pulsing. Still 7 people in local. Alright, that's a wormhole. So we'll pull our probes back in. And maybe we'll go check out that other one. Oh, see, notice I forgot to recover my probes. But it did it for me anyway. Alright, that's nice.
Warp drive active.
So while we do that, let's also take a look and make sure that there haven't been any deaths there recently. Choices.
Warp drive active.
So we don't want to go here, because at very least somebody killed someone there. So I'll check out those 3 low security zones, and then I will head back. Tune. Yeah. And then I'll head back to where I was docked up. So you can see on directional scanner that somebody's running missions around here and they've left a lot of wrecks. I could go over there and start ninja salvaging if that was my bag. It's lucrative, not super lucrative, and it pisses people off. In high security space, there's not a whole lot they can do. They could one-shot you, depending on what ship they're in, if you show up in a cruiser or a destroyer. But if they do so, they'll get the Concord on them, and that's not something that they can escape. So it usually isn't worthwhile to do so. But what they may do is blacklist you and get one of their friends to suicide gank you, which is knowing that Concord will get on them. They'll just come out, kill you, and then let themselves get blown up in a really cheap ship. So these are things people do. I always got really pissed off when somebody came and salvaged my wrecks when I was running missions, just because it's a source of income and they're not working for it at all, and I am, and blah blah blah. But there was nothing I could do about it. I tried. They won't take the loot because that flags them for PvP and allows you to attack them. And sometimes that's what they really want, is they want you to shoot at them so that their friend can then come in and kill you, who is outfitted for PvP when you are outfitted for PvE. Very big difference, and makes you quite vulnerable. So, yeah. So we could be those people. In a really big site, like mission site, you would scan down, you'd come in, you'd salvage, and you might leave with like 5 million in salvage. But again, you'd be pissing people off, and there's no reason to do that. No signatures there.
Warp drive active.
Now, as we travel around in low security space, I'm going to tell you a little bit, I don't know a ton, a little bit of how to be safe or safer when traveling in dangerous areas. So to do so, one, I'm going to make sure that I still don't see any activity of ships being destroyed there. I still don't see any lookouts on this side of the gate. I'm going to close this and this. I don't see anyone here. I don't see anyone around me. I'm still going to approach the gate I just came in. And scan. And there go my scanner probes. They should leave here. Yeah, see? So you see them pop up on directional scanner if you do so pretty quickly. And then you can see them disappear because they went outside of the range of your scan. All right. So now, under the Warp 2 tab, notice there's all these celestial bodies, planets, and random customs offices and things. Keep scanning, nobody around. So when we travel, it may behoove us to... So there's Tune. Yeah, the Tune gate is here, and there is an asteroid belt and a moon nearby. So, okay, so that's a wormhole. We're going to suck our probes in. I'm the only person here, so it's safe to jump. But if I wasn't the only person here, it might be worth jumping to this moon to, I don't know, 50 kilometers off.
Warp drive active.
And then once we get there, pointing ourselves at the Tune gate. So we're picking something that's relatively close to Tune, right? Which is where we're going. As long as it's within 14 AU, we can use our directional scanner to point at it and see if there's anything along the way, like warp bubbles or enemies or whatever, right? So we can do that. We can say, all right, where's Tune? It's pretty close, so we can align to it and scan specifically at it, right? See how we're targeted right at this thing? Now it's really close to us so you can't see, but we are. So that looks good. So we're going to jump over. I'm going to pull up the map and see Tune still showing 0 in the last hour. Okay, so now there's 3 or 4 people in here with me. Put this back up. And general, there's nobody there. There's nothing to scan down, but there's Ochre and Nice, which is interesting. So if I align to that and scan, right, there's nothing there, so I can just jump straight there without a whole lot of concern. Now, it doesn't go the whole way, and sometimes people put, yeah, see, I wasn't pointing at in the right direction, you can see. But there's 3 other people here, and as I get in closer, hopefully none of them will be waiting for me, but I'll be at a gate, so if they attack me, they too will get gunned down. And we'll just see. Okay, so there's signatures here. Nobody here at the gate with me, and nobody in the zone. So we can launch our probes. and try to line them up with something. Alright, so somebody has been in here doing missions. Not terribly hard missions because it's all small and medium wrecks. So let's see, we'll bring it to there. We'll shrink it down. We'll scan again. Again, keeping our eye on local. So right now we're alone and we're safe. We're also right by the... Okay, bring it over there. And shrink it a little bit more. Right, so right now we don't have the protection of a cloak. So we could be set off and cloaked and nobody would know where we were. Okay, so that's a wormhole. That's not what we're looking for. And that is, though. Or might be, anyway. It would be really nice if we found something to open up and make a little money off of here. But if not, it's not the end of the world. Over there. Come down on it a little bit. Still nobody here. That's good. Double check. So for a while when I was doing a lot of exploration, I would like hover, I would pull out local and have it right next to the scan window. And it looks like we need to make that a little bit bigger. I'd have locals list right next to the scan window and right next to my where the window would pop up for hacking and analysis. And I'd have my directional scanner right there, just so that it was all kind of within visual range, so I didn't have to look down to verify or to check and see, right? So I could just hit V and I would see it right in the same general part of the screen. This is me being neurotic, but this is the way that you learn survivability skills. So you find yourself dead in the water at some point, and it's very disappointing. So let's see, let's shrink it a little bit. We're on this one. Still the only person in local, that's good. And that's a wormhole. Well, that's unfortunate. So we're still targeted on Toon. We'll come here. Let's also make sure that our ship, has a name like Anthony, so people won't know if they see me on the directional scanner. They won't know what... I'm taking a chance here by not sort of scanning down towards the gate where I'm going, but anyway, I forget what I was saying. Oh well. I'm sure it can't have been that important, right? No. Anyway, you pick up skills that help you with your survivability, and if you can sort of get something that works for you, that's really what's important. Me telling you what I do may help because it gives you some ideas, but it may also be somewhat worthless because you're a different person than me.
Drive active.
So as we get back into high security space, I'll still keep my eyes peeled because we haven't had a whole lot of success on this one. I figured I would stop the video after I got my first analysis or whatever, but no dice so far, and it's too bad. We made our first jaunt into low security space, dipped our toes in the water, so to speak, and we came up empty. But here we are. We can launch and see if we can see anything here. So normally I just double click and let my ship fly out into the boonies. because it gets me away from the gate, it gets me away from the wormhole, or however I got in there. So if somebody else shows up, they're not right on top of me and able to attack me. Being back in high security space definitely lowers my blood pressure. And yes, I am a Care Bear, so if you're thinking it, it's true, you're right. But that's life. Let's see. Hopeful that this turns into something. Yeah, okay. All right, let's do this. Hopefully I'll be able to scan it down. I don't make any promises. This is difficulty level 3. I think I should be able to. I don't think I'm capable of doing 4. Very close now. Let's see. I'm only in here with 2 other people, so hopefully they are not doing exploration on the one site that is available to me here. And you'll notice that almost exclusively I find data sites. A lot of people who are into exploration pass them up entirely. They refuse to do it because they don't think it's worth their time. And maybe it's not, but it's worth mine. And the act of going through, the hacking process and the mini game in data sites will make you a better hacker and analyzer on the relic sites as well. And so you can benefit from that quite a bit. In something where it might not matter quite as much. All right, so we've got 4. Let's see. We'll just go in there and scan these down a little bit. Okay, this person's in a Stratios, which means that they're here for exploration and combat. All right, so we're going to try to do this quickly. And yeah. Okay. That was a more difficult one, if you remember. So we'll open that up. And this one I'm going to do next because it's got the most expensive item in it. And I'll point it out when we get it. I just did a quick scan, and that's one that we want, although it'll be a little bit difficult to sell, but we can talk about it once we get to it. So alright, so we're going to get in here. Okay. I don't know why I went there instead of checking out the above, but I had a feeling. And I went with it. Yeah, all right. So this blueprint is what I was here for. We'll do this one last because it's got the cheapest things in it. And let's see where we go. So like I might have mentioned before, that when you find a firewall or something in the middle of what, of like a series of nodes where there's nodes all around it, I've heard it said, and generally it's been proven true, that the system core is on one of the spots surrounding it. So keep that in mind. And that proved true on that one, obviously. So let's recall our probes. So here it is. So it's one in the middle of these, right? We got a firewall, and then we just find the system core on the outside. And we'll get back on our merry way. All right, so while we do that, let's show the info on this. This item here requires things that we've been finding in data scanning, high-tech manufacturing tools. So we need 50 of those to make this item, and I'll show you what it is here shortly. We need 50 high-tech data chips, which we don't have any of in here. 50 high-tech scanners, again, one of these items that we'll find in data, and then one of each of these items, the data analyzer 1 and a relic analyzer 1. And so why this is nice is it acts as a lower power analyzer for both relic and data. So if you have constraints on how many mid slots you have and you don't want to use it up for both, for both a data and a relic analyzer, but you still want the capability for both, then you would get something like this ligature integrated analyzer. Whoop. Now let's square ourselves up again. But yeah, so if we, let's see, find in contracts, the only way to sell some of these items, like this blueprint, is as a contract. And you can see in JITA, it sells anywhere from, or Amar, from 750 to $1 million, and depending on who you get to buy it, you could get a lot of money for it. I would guess that you will not get very much money for it because they're relatively common. But still, that's a nice find. And it's unfortunately in the past it hasn't been worth the components. So if you need 50 of these, 50 times 270K is a lot of money. Millions and millions of ISK just to make one item that you're not going to be able to sell for millions and millions of ISK. Which is unfortunate. But it's still kind of exciting. So if we look at it, what does it do for us? It gives us a virus and coherence of 20 each. I'm starting to think that this might be something worth looking into as well. And so if we look at our data analyzer right now, it's 70 coherence and 25 strength, So comparatively, it's 40 coherence and 20 compared to 20 and 20. So it's, yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to scan this down, actually. This is going to be, I think, too hard for us. Try to center it up a little bit more. At least it'll show us what we're passing up. A data site. That is, yep, difficulty 4. Not something I think I can handle with my skills. So yeah, and then additional difficulty, access difficulty bonus 5%. Virus utility element slots 3 versus 1. So yeah. So all right. So this is a limited sleeper cache, which I don't think we're going to be able to scan down, but maybe. I would be really lucky if we did. At this point, I'm sort of wishing that I had, instead of a cargo scanner, one of those scan range finding arrays. 81%. All right, so let's do this. We are going to check the market. And there's one jump from here for 250K. All right, let's buy it. We will set this as a waypoint. Actually, we'll set this as a destination.
Waypoints to the same location twice.
Yeah, no, look. Jump through the Stargate. We'll come back to Gurgish. Get our probes back. Yeah, so we're going to see what we can do about this. And let's ask Google. How much probe strength do I need for exploration? Let's see how recent that post was. Not that recent.
Warp drive active.
Probe scanning.
Docking request accepted.
All right, well, so this is one of those things where it's let's just take all of this stuff and drop it in the hangar and get our ship here. And let's see. We can take out the relic analyzer because we know it's a data site. 81
There is
versus
something in that location.
79. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be enough. Man, that is too bad. 5% scan strength bonus. What about a type 2? Ugh, 6 million. It's tearing me up. All right, so for now, let's just work with 81 and see what we can do. Damn. You know. Yeah, what the hell? I'll buy another one and see what we can do without our 82. Yeah, that's not going to be enough, but what the hell? Let's give it a try. We'll go back to Gurgish.
Warp drive active.
And do more scanning. It would be pretty neat if we could do it, though. Okay. Launch our probes. I said we will launch our probes. Come on. Scanning. There's a Helios. And they're going to be doing the same thing. 85. Ah. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. That is too bad. Because that would have been lucrative. And kind of exciting. 85.5. Yeah, not going to happen. Oh well. These things, I hate to say it, but those were worthless. Now, if we had Sister's core scanner probes... So let's simulate. $90 points from 81. But unfortunately, those are expensive. Yeah, so I guess what we can do is we can take most of our winnings or our proceeds and
Warp drive active.
I sure hope this is the place that I've got all my Foundry Market. We can take the money that we make on exploration and just put it into nicer probes, which would help. It's too bad that we can't skill into it a little bit more without paying for a subscription. So this is also one of the frustrations of exploration. So just so I don't find myself accidentally without a relic analyzer and I'm like, hey, what happened? I wanted to analyze some relic site I found. Let's just put those back. But let's grab all of our stuff, put it in there, and we will head back to where we were based, which is here, I believe. So I think I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. And hopefully what you're getting out of this is not, hey, look at somebody and watch them get all of the money in the world and make it look really easy. It's not really easy, and what you're seeing here is the exact thing that you're going to have to deal with if you do this, especially if you want to do it on the weekend, especially if you want to do it in high security space. That this is really sort of the struggle that you end up with, is that there are a lot of people doing this because it's an interesting way to make money. It's a decent way to make a good amount of money as an alpha character if you don't mind losing your ship or your pod periodically. And excuse me. Yeah, so you're going to run into some competition and you're not going to make a whole lot of money sometimes. So this is a realistic look into what exploration is, and hopefully you're, if not enjoying watching me do it, you're recognizing that you're seeing the reality of the situation and hopefully learning a little bit about ways to make things better for yourself and little tips and tricks. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching. And yeah, thanks for being here. And I will catch you in the next video.